in Bayview, if you want to say it.
Let's do some kung. Right here in Milwaukee, Bayview, South Side.
You said let's do some what?
Kung Fu moves.
No. Oh, that's what you said.
I kind of cut it off.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Milwaukee Beer Review. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
And we have continued edition of special guest...
Frank.
Special guest Frank. So, we are here with another special episode on the channel. We decided we had some random barley wines from the Wisconsin beer market. And we said, hey look, let's do a barley wine focused episode from some different breweries. So that's pretty much what we did. Frank is here tonight hanging out with us, and we said, hey, let's do some videos, let's get some stuff recorded, and let's have some fun. So we're just going to dive right into these beers. You saw us pour them all out. We're going to dive right into the first one. So the first barley wine that we're trying, and I think it should be pointed out, these are all barrel-aged barley wines. This first one is from Milwaukee Brewing Company, one of our legacy favorites. This is a bourbon barrel-aged barley wine, and the flavor notes are aromas of raisin, fig, and dates with hints of tobacco and molasses, rich, malty mouthfeel, and flavor with a warm bourbon finish. So I guess we'll see. Milwaukee Brewing Company is definitely a place near and dear to our hearts. We've spent a lot of time there, so...
that old open house at the 2nd Street location, many shenanigans.
I miss the 2nd Street location, Milwaukee Brewing Company. Bring it back. Reopen it. I don't care. Whatever you need to do.
Rip out that rock climbing gym that's in there now.
Yeah, just rip it out. Get it out of there. Sorry, rock climbing gym place person.
It's nothing against you personally.
It is. So let's dive in to the first beer here into this barrel-aged barley wine from Milwaukee Brewing Company. Get a little nose on it. Ooh, it smells freaking fantastic, actually.
Get that bourbon bite.
Bourbony,
sweet.
There, yeah. Sweet from the barley wine.
You get a little bit of that dark fruit, maybe the fig, as they call out on the can. Would not have picked fig out had I not just read it. Let's be real, beer reviewers. Let's be real.
I have never eaten a fig.
I've had Fig Newton.
I have too.
Fig Newtons are good.
They are good.
That was good strawberry Newton, so.
The blueberry ones. You love blueberry, don't you, Ross?
So, it smells real good. You know, it's barley wine has a very distinct smell to it.
It does.
And it's hard to point out, and I'm not smart enough to tell you what it is.
Very malty, very sweet. Yeah. Bourbon characteristics on the nose, big time. And those dark fruits are for sure there. So, you have thoughts on the nose?
I said them already. The bourbony, the sweetness for the barley wine. And
good. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, gents.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Bourbon forward.
Way bourbon forward.
Yeah, very, very bourbony. Almost like it's sharp. A little bit like heat to the bourbon too. Like, this is a sipping beer. Even it's at 10%. I realize 10% is very high, but it's not as high as things we've had in this show.
This is only 10%.
I thought it was only 10%.
Sure?
11.2.
11.2. It's written down.
That's why I wrote it down.
You did 11.2. This reminds me a lot of what's their barrel aged amber? Louis Resurrection.
Yeah,
reminds me a lot of that, at least in barrel character.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. Their barrel-aged beers tend to have a nice sharpness to it. Mm-hmm. And if you like booze-forward barrel-aged beers, when Milwaukee Brewing Company releases those, this is, like, they do a good job with that. If you like that style. I do. I'm enjoying this.
This is good. because I like those beers so much, this is really solid.
Yeah, a lot of warmth from the bourbon. I mean, if to close my eyes, it almost just tastes like I'm sipping on a bourbon more or less than a barley wine even.
But it's not like strong alcohol flavor either. No. There is a bit of a bite, a bit of an astringent bite on, like initially on the front end, but like it's pretty well baked into this. It's pretty smooth. The
one thing I will say from a barley wine standpoint, this is kind of lacking, is that sweetness that comes with barley wine sometimes. It's not there. It's overtaken so much by the bourbon. But it doesn't make it bad. It's just different.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And sometimes that's not a bad thing. Sometimes I find barley wine's way too sweet, and this one's not that sweet.
Yeah, it's not. This is very drinkable. Yeah. Actually, this reminds me a lot of Louis' Resurrection in barley wine form.
I think that's fair. So,
what would you do, Frank?
Barley wines are never my top style, but this is enjoyable. I'd give it a solid 4.
Ross?
I'm actually right there with you. I'm going to go a 4. I think this is really good. I think this is a good start for the day. Again, I do like that sweetness with barley wines. I was like a little bit there, but I really enjoy this. I'll give it a nice 4.
I don't want to make this video boring, but a 4 seems like a perfect score for this. To be honest, this is a really solid barley wine. It's really well done, and I love the barrel aging program at Milwaukee Brewing Company. I think this is just well done. They do a great job with these. So well done.
Well done. All right, Frank.
All right, next we got one from the New Barons Co-op. This is a bourbon barrel barley wine. This one clocks in at 10%. Does it have a name? Blueprint barley wine. New Barons, a relatively new brewing operation.
New. They're down in Bayview, so this was
actually their name even says that.
That's true. They're not old Barons.
New
Barons.
They're not old Barons.
What does that even mean?
What does that even mean?
Anyways, just back on track. This was actually one of their Black Friday releases. So this just came out last week. They did a bourbon barrel version and they did a rye version. So we have the bourbon one. This is the first New Barons we've done on the show.
I don't think I've had anything from them.
I've had nothing from them so far.
New.
Yeah.
That. Sorry, I had to keep it going. Should we get a little nose on the New Barons?
Yes.
Barley wine? All right. Fair enough. Ooh.
Much more of that barley wine sweetness coming out of this one.
This one's got a molassesy
This one's way more dark fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
this is kind of like
figs, raisins. Like very, very heavy on the barley wine side, not heavy on the booze side.
Yep.
So this is bourbon barrel aged, right?
Yeah. This is bourbon.
Kind of smells like a dark fruit syrup, if you will, in my mind.
I'm not getting much bourbon on the nose at all. Although the bourbon was pretty heavy on the nose with Milwaukee Brewing Company's iterations. So, but yeah, dark fruits and sweetness.
Yeah, much more traditional towards the barley wine. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
all right.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Jim.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
That's smooth.
So you get a little bit of that bourbon bite there, but it's really smooth. Really, you got that nice kind of subtle sweetness all the way through.
There's booze in it.
Yeah.
They don't really quite hit on the front end. They hit more on the back end of the beer, actually. Like, I get it kind of towards the back end of the beer. I get more of a boozy note to it. But the sweetness is there all the way through. Front end to back end, it's very, very sweet. Malty, the dark fruit notes, the figs, the raisins, kind of those barley wine characteristics are there. Heavy in this. This taste and the mouthfeel on this, super, super heavy. I actually really like that.
Yeah, if you like traditional barley wines, this is much more up your alley, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Compared to what we just had. And very much just in this terms of barley wine. Got the good sweetness. You get that bourbon. It's there. But it's not, it doesn't overtake everything.
Yeah, the bourbon complements. It doesn't overpower in this.
Yeah.
And I mean, the lingering taste on my palate after this is very, almost molassesy, very, dark and sweet.
But that's kind of what you want in a barley wine, I think. At least, I think a lot of people do. We recently reviewed on this channel the 2017 iteration of the BCS barley wine. I like this more than that.
I think I do too. I'm not to say I'm surprised. I had no idea what to expect from New Barons. This is a really good first time out for them. I'm really enjoying this.
So new. I mean,
God.
Sorry, Ross. Continue. Go ahead.
If I'm putting this on Untappd, I'm actually going to go 4.25. I want to give it 4.5. I just don't think it's quite there for 4.5.
Yeah.
So 4.25 is where I'm going to stick it. So
I'm going to go right with you at 4.25. This is a darn good beer. I'm kind of inching towards that 4.5 state, but there's like a floaty happening in mine that I don't know what that is. So New Barons, maybe it's because it's so new that there's things floating in mine.
Not wait for the next beer.
It still tastes really good though.
I'm just going to stick with, I think, the same as my last one, and then is 4. I think it's solid. I think I liked each of the last 2 beers pretty equally, just for different reasons.
Whoa.
And
I wasn't so shoved up against the fridge. I was just joking.
I mean, you kind of are.
But, yeah, I like each beer for their own reasons. I'm just going to stick with a 4 overall. I think
That's fair.
My barley wine being not my top
Yeah.
style of beer, I think, is probably driving
How
that.
is that in here?
I don't know. We'll get to that
gross.
later.
Okay, all right.
So the last beer we have here is from Central Waters. This is their brandy barrel barley wine ale. So they do a bourbon barrel barley wine. This is their brandy barrel iteration. This one comes in at 14.8%. So it's a nice kick up from what we've had so far.
A little bit.
That's like 3 beers in 1 bottle.
Easily.
Yeah.
If not
So
more. All right.
get a little nose on it.
Get a little nose on the brandy barrel aged barley wine from Central Waters. Woo! Definitely a heavy alcohol tone to this. I have no idea what brandy smells like because I don't drink brandy.
I do in old fashions. So I don't really have much. But I'm getting more of the, yeah.
But you're getting into mixed drinks, so you're not really getting it separated. I don't drink brandy. I'm guessing that's brandy on the nose. I have to imagine.
Boozy and sweet. That's how I would
I'm not
describe
getting a ton of sweetness on this one, to be honest. I'm getting the booze. I'm not getting that sweetness to this one, though.
It almost smells like caramely. Like there's almost like a little bit of like a caramel sweetness to it.
But as far as like we've said so far for the last 2, a lot of like dark fruit. I'm not getting that at all.
No,
So,
none of that notes on here.
So-
It's more like a candy sweetness that I'm getting.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cheers, gents.
Cheers.
Wow, that's doing a lot of shit.
That is really sweet, but really, really smooth.
It's smooth. I'm not getting a lot of sweetness though, to be
No.
honest.
Really? It's just me, I guess.
It's boozy.
I'm getting booze. It's booze forward, but it's not bad. It kind of does cancel out a lot of the other Barleywine characteristics. I'm not getting the dark fruit. I'm not really getting, personally, I'm not getting the sweetness.
The brandy is the star of the show.
Exactly, yeah.
It is a very warm. You get the warmth of a alcohol in this one.
And considering the ABV on this, that's not a surprise
No,
necessarily.
there's a lot of booze in that bottle.
But it does overtake the barley wine qualities to this, whereas like with the New Barons, you got a lot of those dark fruits, a lot of those typical barley wine characteristics. You don't get a lot of that here. It's there, but it's buried underneath that brandy character.
Yeah.
I don't know, this... I love Central Waters. After trying what New Barons put out and equating this to that, I think this is my least favorite one of these 3, and I expected it to be my favorite. And maybe it's because I'm not as big of a fan of brandy as I am of bourbon.
Could be.
Both of these first 2 are bourbon barrel aged, but I'm going to probably put this... It's still a really good beer. I'm going to probably put this at a 3.75.
Okay.
Pretty much exactly what I think I was going to do. 3.5, 3.75, somewhere in there. I can never want to pick one, but it's a little one-dimensional. Like you said, it's very boozy. It's very
I'm just
warm.
going to keep flopping your scores on the video. Edit it.
But it's a very, very booze-forward, very boozy, warm. But that's kind of overpowers any other tastes in there. I think it's not bad, and I'm not a big brandy guy either. So, yeah, I think it's just.
Can we say we're from Wisconsin and not like brandy?
Yeah.
I like brandy.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't like brandy. I'm just saying I'm not like in that fan club. I don't know. Sorry.
So,
Go
no,
ahead.
listen, when I look at this, to your point, I expected this to be my favorite just because nothing against Milwaukee Brewing Company or New Barons, because I know how much I like Central Waters. I was expecting this to be my favorite. It's good. I enjoy it. I'm going to put this actually to about 3.25, just because from what I had first, it's so far down from there. Like, at least the nice bourbon from the Milwaukee Brewing Company with a little bit of sweetness in the back end was really good. The overall just... You got the alcohol, you got the bourbon, everything with the New Barons. This one, to your point, is very one-dimensional. I was expecting more. It's just so brandy. And as much as I like brandy, it's not something that you drink straight most of the time. It's a mixed cocktail or mixed spirit, and this is just lacking kind of those variants I would like. So.
It's a good breakdown, actually. That's fair. All good barley wines, I think. You can't go wrong with any of these three. I think New Barons wins out. I think we would all agree.
Yeah.
New Barons won this out. Milwaukee Brewing Company close second. Central Waters, we love your stuff. I've got barley wines of yours that have rated close to the best beers I've ever had. The Y2K that you see up on the shelf, oh my God, that was some epic stuff. Good. This is not quite to that caliber, but still a decent beer.
Yeah.
So, good stuff. Check us out on the rest of our social media channels. We're on Untappd, we're on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are here on YouTube. What do you got to do on YouTube, Frank?
You want to hit that like button and ring that subscribe bell.
Bing, bing! Hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more videos coming out. We've got a lot more content. It is beer season in Wisconsin, although it's always beer season in Wisconsin.
It's stout season.
It's big beer season.
I was saying, when does beer season end?
Yeah,
maybe one day.
Yeah, it's big beer season in Wisconsin. Yeah, the one day that it's not
New Year's
beer
Day,
season
when everyone's hungover and doesn't want to drink,
is New Year's Day. I think we actually all have to keep drinking on New Year's Day. Actually, that's what helps you get through to the new year.
The hair of the dog.
The hair of the dog. Stick around for more episodes. Check out MilwaukeeWings.com, which is Frank's domain. We do still plan to do some collaboration videos and bring some wings onto the channel. There's a lot of great wing places here in Milwaukee, so if you're a Milwaukeeite, Milwaukeean, is it?
Isn't it?
No. I wouldn't walk it, y'all.
If you're a Milwaukeeite, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got thoughts on what you'd like to see on the channel, we'd like to hear that too. Stick around for future episodes, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.